Hi, I'm David Farland. Welcome to Super Writers Tuesday. Today's question comes from Dustin Adams, who asks, how do you get yourself motivated to get your butt in the chair and write your story? Motivation's an interesting thing. First of all, I suggest that when you do feel motivated, what you do is you say, okay, I feel really excited about writing today. I'm going to go work on my story. And you work on it for 2 or 3 hours. When you do that, what it does is it forces your subconscious to start thinking about the story. And as it gets more ideas and starts putting the story together, you'll get more and more excited about that. It just seems to grow until it consumes your life, or it can consume your life. You'll find yourself waking up in the middle of the night and saying, oh gosh, I've got half an hour. I'm going to go ahead and write some notes. So once you've got motivation, take that motivation and start turning it into a habit. But there's another part that comes to motivation. For many people, we're just starting on NaNoWriMo this week, and there's a lot of people who say, oh, I want to write a book for NaNoWriMo. And they haven't thought about it very much. They haven't thought about who their main characters are or what world they're going to be writing the story in, perhaps, if they're looking at a science fiction story or a fantasy story. And so a lot of times the writer doesn't have the information that they need to even think about plotting the book. And that's where motivation comes from. I think that when you have thought about the book and you've come up with a character and they've got an interesting conflict and there are exciting scenes coming ahead, the motivation comes pretty naturally. You're like, oh, I get to work on scene 23 today, where my character finally gets his biological implants and gets upgraded to being a superhuman, okay, or something like that. You look at it and you say, okay, this is a fun, exciting turning point in the story. So motivation can come from a lot of different places. First of all, a lot of us as writers get motivated by reading other people's work. Okay, if I'm reading another person's book and the book is bad, I look at it and I say, God, I can do better than that. It's kind of negative motivation. It's like, okay, I look at it and say, why am I sitting here reading this book when I could be writing? On the other hand, if I read a book and it really is good, I may read it and say, this is really great. I like to incorporate some of these ideas into my next story or into a future story. And so I can get motivation by reading. For other people, motivation comes, the story ideas come actually while they're doing inconsequential things. Let's say that you're driving to the store, or you're driving cross country, you're on an airplane, you're taking a shower, you're washing the dishes. Usually our best ideas come to us in that downtime. And so give yourself some downtime. There are a lot of people who get so excited and they're so aggressive on trying to get a writing career started that they don't give themselves time to really think and develop their plots and develop their characters and do the things that they need to create the groundwork for a great story. So that is one place to get motivation. For other people, they get it in groups. Going to a writing workshop or taking a writing course has inspired a lot of people. I just had a writer this last year who at the age of 50 decided that she had always wanted to write a book, and so she came and took one of my writing courses. We finished her novel. She started a novel in the writing course the very first day, and within a few months she had the book done. It sold, and she was featured on Publishers Weekly a couple of times last year as having one of the biggest books of the year. So there's a lot of ways to get yourself motivated and excited, and you just have to find out what works for you. But generally speaking, if you sit down and you write and you've taken the time to think about your characters, think about your scenes, to plan what's going to happen in a scene, what exciting things are going to happen, what's going to change in this plot, you get that kind of information, you're going to find that you have the motivation to write. So this is Super Writers Tuesday. I'd like to thank you for coming. Happy writing.